Welcome back to another episode of VanillaTyme Season 9. This is episode 21. My name is Steph, and if you watched last episode, you'll know that we were working on the slime launching minigame here, and as you can see, it is done! So, yeah, the build's done. It's ugly. It's okay. It's meant to be a minigame. But we're going to move on from that, because in today's video, I wanted to build, well, a replacement for this farm over here. So this is the Creaking farm, and I am now inside it. I am a Creaking, and it is getting dark. I wanted something more efficient than this because we're selling resin in the shopping district. So what I plan on doing is putting a new farm right here, and it is going to be much faster. So I'm going to show you the build in creative mode first, and then we'll build it together on the server. But before we do that, I wanted to show you a little bit of work that I did off camera in between episodes. Over here by the scoop ball arena, you can see I took out that little awkward cliff up here, and we did a little bit of terraforming. So it's not just like a flat cliff face anymore. So we added a little bit of definition, some rounding. So now it actually, kind of looks okay and not like a flat wall. Yeah, nothing too special, but it's something. So it looks better than this wall now. This is kind of what it looked like before. So I still got to do this side and this corner. We also did the back wall. So just added a little bit of 3D definition to it so it doesn't look like a sheer, square, like we cut a hole through the chunk, which we absolutely did. I also did a little decoration in the cow pen house room, whatever you want to call it. So we still have that functionality to get into the goat pen, but I just wanted to make it a little nice in here. And I don't know if I mentioned in the last video, but I added a shulker loader to the sorting system. So shulkers go in here, you press the button, it dispenses items through, this goes in here. I think I may have mentioned that one. So yeah, thing I may not have mentioned is we have a little up and down system now to get into the bottom of the sorter. So you can see it's nice and secret. Press button, thing opens. So that's kind of cool. And if we come to the nether, we now have this button here. And so if we press this button, this opens a little secret door here. And that actually takes us down into the nether proper. So I made this little staircase to get up and down. It's really rickety, but honestly, it's just to, get down in here. Because it's what everybody does. I mean, if you look around, there's just a whole bunch of these. But yeah, I wanted to get down here. As you can see, our spawn is in a warped biome, which means that these guys spawn everywhere. Essentially, the Endermen will spawn at spawn. They'll pick up an item, so they won't despawn, and then they'll slowly teleport around other areas of the nether as people load other chunks in and out. And because I log in every morning and check the shopping district, it means that I'm loading those chunks every morning. So, yeah, it means that there are Endermen everywhere in the nether. It's also why the ceiling is populated with them. There's this button, this opens back up. So this is the updated farm. And as you can see, it is a little bit larger and a lot more clean than the last version. And the way this works is we are essentially moving the logs around on a piston feed tape instead of shifting them back and forth. And if we come over here, you can see that I came up with this piston feed tape system, which you turn on by pulling this back, and it creates a redstone clock that every time it cycles around, it either pushes or pulls on this piston, and that continues the signal. And these rails just pick up the signal that are sent by the pulse from the observers looking at them. And these observers are just looking at the other observer sending the signal and triggering these pistons, which move the piston feed tape around, which is like this wool line. And I'm just using this wax copper bulb as a representation of just, you can actually see the items moving around, or the blocks, I should say. When you want to turn it off, you just lock the piston, and that just keeps everything from moving again. So we took that concept and we moved it over here. And instead of moving wool blocks around, we're moving a set of pale oak logs on the bottom and on the top. So we do that, we do that with the same system that I described over there, we have this piston that's going into this block, and this block is QC powering the one underneath it, as well as powering this block directly, which indirectly powers the piston above it. So that moves these logs all the way around in a circle over and over again. Now, this bit up here is where the creakings will spawn. Now, I've mentioned in the past that creakings can spawn on glass, but other mobs can't. So this actually becomes a really good system for ensuring that only the creakings will spawn up here and not any other mobs. Now, they'll spawn up top here, and when the system is on, these pistons will push and pull these fence gates. So the fence gates, they can't spawn on top of them, so that way they're not accidentally spawning like up here. But they can spawn on the glass when these are retracted, and then the fence gates, because they're closed, are going to act like a block and push them off. So that works pretty well, and they're up here to make sure that the resin doesn't accidentally spawn up top. I originally had this system underneath, and the resin was getting stuck on it. And these are actually powered just by these observers, which are seeing the pale lokes run around in the circle. And so these will see that block change happen and trigger the sticky pistons. So if we turn the system on, which we can do down here, I've just got this lever here, which just alternates this torch line, which will unlock the sticky piston and turn on the system. And so now you can see every time it goes around a circle, it either pulls or pushes the fence gates back and forth. And then if we set to night, see they spawn on top, and then they get pushed down into the water system. And then they come down all the way over to here. So we've got to be in survival to test this because we are using an armor stand with sweeping edge, and then we just hit the armor stand and that will hit all the creakings that are inside this little 2x2 area. And they're sitting on top of hoppers, so that when the creakings get hit, the resin will pop off into the water stream itself, and it'll come down in with the creakings and then get collected. And yeah, so I think we're going to build this on the server, and I think I need to make a couple adjustments because as you can see with this design, I'm using stone slabs to keep them from spawning. I'm just going to build this up in the sky a little bit like I did with the other farm on the server. Which does mean that this section here, I'm going to have to add some extra glass to in the design. So I'm going to take care of that, and then we can bring this design back onto the VanillaTyme server and build it there. Alrighty, I have done my resource collection. I have everything I need here and here in order to build the farm up. And yeah, let's get cracking. And we've got another Staff Original on the server. So just like what you saw in the creative world, everything is set up, and I was able to give it a quick test run. I didn't even run it the full night, and yeah, I'm gonna have to put a compactor on this thing because this is what we got after like 7-8 minutes of running the farm, and that's with stuff falling on the outside too. It's not lossless. I guess it's just because of the corners or just the way that they pop off, and they just kind of go through blocks, and they either get squeezed out, land on the floor, or land on top, similar to what this one was doing. But given how fast this thing is, I don't think that's a problem. The bigger issue is the hoppers. So what I've done is I've gone over and split the hoppers a little bit better. So now we've got 2 hoppers being fed into the double chest. And so I'm probably just going to put a crafting, like an auto crafting setup underneath this somewhere. And as you can see, I accidentally killed the armor stand because I forgot that I have Fire Aspect 2 on my sword. So I'll have to get a sword with Sweeping Edge that does not have Fire Aspect 2 and just stick it on like an item frame or something here for use in the farm only. And yeah, that's pretty much it. As you saw from the time lapse, or as you can see from the time lapse, there's a lot of creakings coming in. So like 40 of them spawn and they just get pushed down like I explained earlier, and everything seems to be running perfectly. I got rid of a bunch of the unnecessary blocks from the creative design, and I also pulled the glass out by a block on this side. So I had to collect a few extra things for that, but I think we're in a good spot. So this is pretty much done at this point, aside from the extra little bit that I'll add. I just threw a door on here for now. I'll probably fix this, but I just wanted to make sure I put a reverse door. Let me see. Yeah, so it's currently open. Now it's open. Now it's closed. Now it's open. Now it's closed. Just so mobs can't get in. And even without the armor stand, it's fine just to sit here and hit them directly, but I think the armor stand will provide more output, so I should probably do some testing on that. I think it's because if you hit the armor stand, it'll hit everything in here or something. I forget exactly how that works, but yeah, we're going to call this pretty much done for today, and if you did like the video and want to see more, then give me a like, subscribe if you're new, and I will catch you next time. Take care.